We're live this morning in the neighborhood of the suspect in the Jessica Ridgway case. Today will be the first time he faces a judge. What could happen since he's only 17 years old?
Also, team coverage this morning of our winter storm. Lisa in the 24/7 Weather Center tracking when these flurries will end. But we also see a second wave of snow on the way.
And we've got you covered out there on the roads right now. Eric Lufer and Jason both tracking what you'd expect on your morning commute. And Dale Cedars joins us from Aurora. Dale, how have the conditions changed? You've been out there a couple hours now.
Yeah, and we're definitely starting to see the snow slowing down just a little bit. It's tapering off. You can see it's not falling as hard as it was through the overnight hours. However, unfortunately, it's cold and there's enough of that wetness on the road to cause some problems. Take a look behind me. This is 225. You see all those taillights? These are the folks heading northbound. Now, we just saw a fire truck coming by. There's an accident farther north from where we are. Of course, all the bridges, the overpasses, they're pretty icy as a result of just these cold, frigid conditions. So this is one thing. If you're heading out the door, make sure you give yourself some extra time because of this traffic if you're heading northbound on 225. This is just north of the Colfax interchange, or the exit right here. However, other than that, the roads are mostly just wet. But again, we're dealing with a lot of ice. The snow is quieted down for right now. Unfortunately, though, it's going to pick back up just in time for your commute home later on this afternoon. For now, I'm live in Aurora. Dale Cedars, 7 News.
Yeah, that's the key there. Quiet for now, but there is more snow on the way. We've got another round coming later on today. Right now, you can see radar pretty quiet up and through the foothills. You're still going to find quite a bit of snow. And in the high country, we received a good 3 to 6 inches, if not more. And there's more to come in the mountains. Great for the ski resorts. As far as our temperatures go today, we're going to be in the 20s for the most part next couple of hours. And then by noon and 4 o'clock, you'll find mid to even upper 30s. Again, quiet through the middle of the day, but right around commute time, 4 to 5 o'clock, we could start to see again more snow showers and more light snow by 8 o'clock tonight. Could be looking at an additional 1 to 3 inches in Denver, Jason. More up and through the foothills and south of Denver.
And just tweeting back and forth with DIA, and they're telling me it's a 3-vehicle accident on that transition of eastbound I-70 onto northbound Pena Boulevard. That's why we're seeing this delay coming off of I-70 across that bridge of I-70 out to DIA. So maybe an extra 10 minutes out to the airport this morning. 7 News reporter Eric Lufer, he's been out driving in the tough conditions all morning long on Storm Tracker 7. Eric, where are you now? What does it look like?
Hey, Jason, I'm in a trouble spot right now, 36 eastbound going over I-25, and there was an accident. You can see some tire marks in the snow here along the shoulder. That's where tow trucks were no more than 5 minutes ago. In fact, you can still see the police car and the tow truck way down there on the road there. They just left the scene. Got some video for you when I first arrived. It looks like 2 cars were involved in this crash on the shoulder here. One of the cars slammed into the guardrail. No real major damage to the vehicles, but there was an ambulance on scene at one point, so no word on injuries, but just goes to show how dangerous it can be, even though this wasn't that big of a storm. In fact, as I was setting up here, one of the officers who was at this crash told me to be careful because this is very slick and very slippery here on this bridge. You can see still traffic backed up because of this accident, and it'll probably be that way throughout the morning commute. Take it easy, folks. We didn't get much snow, but hey, it can still cause issues on the roads. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Eric. It's 6:48 now. Right now, this is a live look out at DIA. People getting to the airport just fine. DIA says as of right now, planes are leaving on schedule. No major delays. They are de-icing the planes, but no problems. No flights have been canceled. We just checked for you. We are watching flydenver.com. If we see anything change, we'll let you know.
Now turning to justice for Jessica. In just over an hour, suspect Austin Sigg will be in court. He's accused of killing 10-year-old Jessica Ridgway. 7 News now learning it was a call from Sigg's home that helped police make the arrest. Sigg now faces 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of second-degree kidnapping. 7 News reporter Lindsay Sablon is near the suspect's home in Westminster, where police continue their investigation this morning. Lindsay?
And Anna, you can see behind me, police are still blocking off this area right in front of the suspect's home as they continue to search his home. We are told this home we're trying to zoom in right here is where Austin Sigg told his mom that what he had done, and she encouraged him to turn himself in. She's the one who called police, and then Sigg cooperated, even waiving his rights. This less than a mile from where Jessica's home is. Again, police continuing to search his home for any evidence. This mugshot taken of Austin Sigg 2 Tuesday night after police arrested the 17-year-old. This will be the first time we will see Sig this morning. Cameras are not allowed in the courtroom, but 7 News will be there. The judge will advise him on the charges he's being held on. That includes first-degree murder, kidnapping, as well as other charges from the Kettner Lake incident back in May. A juvenile attorney tells us due to those charges, it's likely Sig will be charged as an adult, but will still be eligible for parole.
The law and medical science assumes that because he's a juvenile, his brain functions differently than if he were an adult. And so the law takes that into account.
We did find out that Sig will not face the death penalty. Currently, he is being held at Montview Youth Services Detention Center. Live in Westminster, Lindsay Sablon, 7 News.
Thanks, Lindsay. 7 News now uncovering this video. Take a look. You see Sig there on the left wearing a necklace with a cross. This video is from a few years ago. That cross is similar to this one that police connected to Jessica's disappearance and a near abduction at Kettner Lake. Now, in the neighborhood where Jessica Ridgway lived, there are mixed emotions about this arrest. Neighbor Teresa Lindsay says the arrest has provided some relief that the alleged killer is caught. But after so much trauma, people here are still concerned about copycat crimes. And she says many people in that neighborhood know Austin Sig's family. So there's great sadness that now 2 mothers have lost their children.
It's automatic to go for revenge. And I don't think Jessica would have wanted that. I really think that Jessica would just want her justice in the most peaceful way that she possibly could have had it.
A lot of people we talked to say this has brought the community closer there. A neighbor saying people on the block who haven't spoken in years are talking now. And Jessica seemed to give them common ground, so they hope that will be part of her legacy. We will continue to break new information in justice for Jessica. A crew will be in the courtroom in about an hour when Austin Sig goes before the judge. And we'll have updates right here on 7 News as well as the denverchannel.com throughout the day.
Well, happening today, another court appearance for the Aurora theater shooting suspect, James Holmes. You're seeing in these sketches from the last appearance. Today's court session is going to start at about 1:30 this afternoon. We're expected to hear more about that leaked information. The defense wants to know who it was who provided a cable news organization details of the package we've talked about that Holmes sent to his psychiatrist, the CU psychiatrist, Dr. Lynn Fenton. Prosecutors, though, question whether the information is even accurate.
We have the latest from the campaign trail this morning in Democracy 2012. With less than 2 weeks until Election Day, a new poll shows Mitt Romney pulling even with the president when it comes to women voters. According to this Associated Press poll, the former Massachusetts governor has erased President Obama's 16-point advantage with female voters. In turn, the president has effectively eliminated Romney's edge among men. Now, this poll, these numbers you're looking at show the overall likely voters, and Romney, you can see, is leading there. 47% to the president's 45%. Today will be another long day on the road for both candidates as they stay focused on the battleground states, most importantly Ohio. President Obama will start in Florida before heading to Chicago to vote, and then he goes to Ohio. Mitt Romney will spend the whole day in Ohio after expressing optimism during a rally in Iowa yesterday.
The Obama campaign is slipping because it can't find an agenda to help the American families. But our campaign is growing into a movement across this country that says we're going to get America back.
Now, despite Romney's leads in these new Associated Press poll numbers, the president still seems to have the edge in Ohio, Iowa, and Wisconsin, 3 crucial battleground states.
Could be a long night, election night. So happening today, hundreds of people are expected to gather in Sioux Falls, South Dakota to celebrate the life and the career of former U.S. Senator George McGovern. A public viewing and a prayer service are going to be held for the 3-time presidential candidate. Many political figures obviously expected to be there. Vice President Joe Biden says he will attend. He served alongside McGovern in the Senate back in the 1970s and early 80s. McGovern died on Sunday at the age of 90. 6 minutes before 7. Let's check in with Lisa and Jason.
And Halloween just around the corner. And of course, in perfect timing, we get some snow here in Denver. Right now, we have temperatures in the 30s, downtown 30 degrees. It's quite a bit colder in a few other neighborhoods. We've got 20s in other spots. Right now, Greeley 28, Denver at the airport 28, and in Littleton 28. Look at the teens up and through the foothills. Conifer for this morning. You're starting off at 16 degrees. Most neighborhoods look a lot like this. That snow sticking to the grass, the rooftops, but the roads are at this point just wet, and we've really only got a few lingering flurries. Up and through the foothills closer to Estes Park and just west of Fort Collins, we do have some snow still falling, and you'll find it near Genesee and a little farther west on I-70. As the day goes on, we'll see mostly cloudy skies by 12 o'clock. Very light. If we get any snow, it'll be a few flurries up and through the foothills. It's really not until about 5 to 6 o'clock that we start to see more of that snow building back into our futurecast around the entire metro area. By 9 o'clock, you can see some of the darker blues. Brighton, Thornton, Denver, Littleton, all getting another shot at some snow tonight into early tomorrow morning. By 6 o'clock Friday morning, it looks a lot like it does this morning, where things are kind of tapering off by that point. So almost the timing will be exactly the same, but tonight it won't start off as rain. It'll start off as snow. Statewide, you can see again some of the heavier snow is going to be north across the northern half of the state. By 9:30 tonight, the Springs, Lyman, and Fort Collins, and the high country picking up more snow. And then by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, it starts to gradually shift east. The only winter weather alerts in place, a winter weather advisory at this point for portions of the high country, and then also south along the Palmer Divide, south from Denver toward Colorado Springs, where we could get some slightly heavier accumulations between about 3 to 6 inches. Denver today, a high of 36. You can see statewide, really 30s and 40s. Denver 36, Longmont 35. Tomorrow still cold, but a little more sunshine by Friday afternoon. Saturday and Sunday, some sunshine, 50s. Planned for a mild weekend, but a much warmer week early next week. Monday, Tuesday, Jason, 60s and 70s.
Plan on delays to DIA unless you use E470. We'll show you problems. I've been using Twitter to contact DIA this morning and looking at this accident, or the delay is coming from eastbound I-70 onto Pena Boulevard from a 3-car accident that Aurora is there with. And you can see on the map here this morning that heavy stop-and-go traffic, not only that's growing there in that transition, but also northbound 225, an accident right by I-70, Sand Creek. That bridge is also very treacherous. That's why we're seeing, look at that, a 35-minute commute time on the northbound side of 225 from I-25 to I-70. E470 basically a little bit damp, but almost dry at this point. It's looking pretty good down to the south side of town on C470, Denver Tech Center. Heavy traffic building across Broadway. Most of the traffic across I-25 and I-70. Those ramps are pretty slick for us this morning. You can see that. And we've also had some very tough driving conditions on US 36. Look at that westbound side now. It is really tough. And you can see some of the commute times from the north side of town. And up in Fort Collins, again, wet. Been talking to them on Twitter as well. And icy there in Prospect.
Got us covered. All right, the first appearance for the suspect in the Jessica Ridgway murder in court at 8 a.m. We will be there for you.
Stay with us here on 7 News.